Hey boys and girls, how are you? Welcome back to the channel, and I want to talk about something going into the new year for No Man's Sky that maybe nobody's brought up yet, but I'm kind of looking ahead here. Some of you might think this video is clickbait trash, but before you do that, just take a second and hear me out, because actually I put a little bit of time into thinking about this with some reasonable thought and logic as to what could go into No Man's Sky for version 2.0. I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but just give me a second, will ya? Let's just rip off the band-aid. I want to talk about No Man's Sky 2.0. What Legacy Zero? We're not even close to 2.0, to which I respond, yet. Around 6 months ago, Hello Games released version 1.5, aka Next, which is the most drastic change and enhancement for the game in its nearly 3 years of life. Since 1.5, Hello Games has accelerated the jumps in version numbers quite drastically, both with large bug fixes and especially with its apparent jump to moderately sized titled updates like the Abyss and Visions, placing us at nearly version 1.8. Historically, version change progression was much slower, taking an entire 2 years to get us to version 1.5 with Next, and with Hello Games' more regular communication with the community, coupled with more regular update behaviors, we could very well see version 2.0 very soon. With that speculation and conjecture out of the way, a potential third season of Waking Titan kicking off, and clear evidence for what may come, I'd like to take some time to discuss what I feel version 2.0 could look like. Here are 10 of my most desired features for No Man's Sky to come in the new year. Hopefully. Number 1, structures. I have praised No Man's Sky endlessly for its procedural tech, mainly surrounding its terrain formation. I mean, they've built entire fucking planets. It's gorgeous, my god, look at it. But one area that is very sorely neglected in No Man's Sky is architecture. The game puts a heavy focus on exploration of entire effing planets, diverse terrains, ecology, etc. Hell, even the oceans are worth taking a dip into now, which surprised me, honestly. But No Man's Sky lacks meaningful structures to be explored. Before launch, varying types of structures were shown in both footage and artwork, but never found their way into the game for whatever reason, assumingly because simply having a structure present for show just isn't very engaging. And the current offer of tiny planetary outposts are pretty thin on wow factor and adding to the gameplay loop as a whole. Just imagine strolling upon a large procedural alien structure in all its beauty, teeming with monsters, loot, and danger. That would certainly add to the exploration experience, not to mention creating a good environment for cooperative play. Number 2, dungeons. As an extension to the previous item, structures are desperately needed in No Man's Sky, but even more so would be exploration of dungeons both below and above ground, and in space. This would give Hello Games a real shot to flex their procedural muscles with large, sprawling alien structures, perhaps large, derelict or destroyed freighters and capital ships, space stations, and etc. The Visions update gave an enhancement to crash freighters both on land and in oceans, and it's certainly the right direction. I would love to see this idea fully fleshed out. Toss on the rumor about procedural structures being developed by former Lionhead programmer Sam Swain, and you've got some compelling evidence for something excellent being on the way. Number 3, space depth. After the Abyss and Visions updates, many of the No Man's Sky community on YouTube, Twitter, and Reddit are saying that naturally space should be the next to get a comparable tweaking. Seems logical, of course, but being that space is the most empty aspect of the game, I'd say that it could use the most attention. Currently, the depth of space exploration, combat, and general presence is very service level, but serviceable. Warping the new systems has become slightly better, but still mainly focuses on one of two situations: warp in and see cool visual, or warp in and see cool visual with a freighter being attacked. Imagine warping into a star system to see a destroyed fleet of freighters from a battle that already took place, allowing you to search, explore, and loot the destroyed ships. Encountering Atlas stations that have crashed into planets, new types of space stations, large asteroids possibly featuring rare minerals only achieved by mining them, spacewalking, etc., etc. I would love to see space be almost completely overhauled. Number 4, rogue planets. The game already has 18 quintillion worlds to explore, sure, some of which are anomalous, more so than before, but what if there were planets so rare to the game that happening upon them were just as rare as portals used to be to find? These worlds, flung from their parent star, located in the void between suns, could be the dark souls of planets in the game.
Cold, almost completely dark, infested with dangerous monsters who are very, very hungry, and oddities that escape explanation. Rogue planets could be the great place for risk-reward type gameplay aimed at the players looking for a good challenge, a good excuse to use your lamp, and a great attraction for co-op. No Man's Sky lacks a good risk and reward mechanic, and this would be a great way to engage players looking to risk that permadeath save file. Number 5, shipbuilding. One of the greatest aspects of No Man's Sky is its wonderful design of all of its kinds of starships. From single-seat ships all the way to freighters, there's a lot of opportunity with what we can do with our spacefaring vessels. Right now, the dynamic of finding that perfect starship is random and time-consuming effort that doesn't always yield the best results that you want. I personally would rather spend the time putting together the resources and the blueprints to build my own, and I would absolutely love to see many more assets added to the game to facilitate the option of shipbuilding. Having the ability to construct our own ships would add a lot to the current gameplay loop, and it would give us the ability to make our starships more personal to us. And please, for the love of God, let me sell my existing ships. Number 6, PvP and PVE Raids. Before you slay me in the comments sections, by all means, I'm certainly interested in your opinion on the matter. Hear me out. There are a number of reasons why a direct PvP mode would be great for No Man's Sky. The unique concept of the game would make way for interesting faction-type wars in the same vein as, say, PlanetSide 2. Sure, No Man's Sky already has a PvP capability built in, but a dedicated mode would be ideal. Picture this. You select PvP from the main menu and you're thrown into a singular star system with perhaps dozens of other players fighting over territory, building protection, to help fortify and protect your territory, and resource gathering is more streamlined to place a better focus on the action. A dedicated PvP mode would bring in all kinds of new players, and it would be excellent for watching on various streaming platforms and be a totally unique experience for multiplayer. Also, procedurally generated raids for PvE and co-op would certainly be welcome. Number 7, a single better galaxy. Okay, I'm going to catch some heat for this one, but hear me out. No Man's Sky is already impossibly large with a single galaxy as it is. Now, of course, I understand why the current setup of 256 galaxies could be attractive to some, but in my opinion, it does more harm to the game feature-wise. Most of the action, community events, and other important things are happening in the Euclid Galaxy. This would be a great opportunity to perfect the Euclid Galaxy to include all the benefits moving to other galaxies with none of the drawbacks. Perhaps the best idea would be to divide Euclid into various sectors including Tranquil, Violent, Strange, Outer Rim, and so on. Having all of these different galaxies is kind of arbitrary and redundant, and with the center of the galaxy completely lacking as a compelling goal, having to start from scratch away from the entire population of the game feels pointless. Instead of hundreds of extra galaxies, No Man's Sky should utilize multiple dimensions to showcase how truly strange and diverse the game could and should get. Speaking of the Galactic Core, number 8, a reason to reach the center. One of the most, if not the most attractive concepts of No Man's Sky turned out to be its most disappointing. Shooting for the center of the galaxy, or universe, became nearly pointless once it was first discovered that literally nothing significant happens once you get there. This severely diminishes the need to travel there. The center of the galaxy deserves something profound, monumental, worth chasing. This would be a real chance to connect everything together. Imagine showing up to the center to find a massive master atlas, controlling all of the atlas interfaces, giving capability that you previously didn't have. Without this, No Man's Sky would continue to lack a primary stated goal, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it couldn't hurt to add it. Number 9, a villain. No Man's Sky is already a great experience, but unfortunately lacks a persistent menace in the galaxy. Sure, the new horrors exist on both land and sea, but they're generally not a threat unless provoked. Wouldn't it be nice to have an enemy in the galaxy that's sporadically trying to kill you? The concept of being randomly raided by pirates is tired and not very engaging, frankly. The No Man's Sky universe could use an enemy that can attack you in both space and on land. I'm not sure why I can't stop envisioning the Covenant or the Flood from the Halo franchise, but an existence in the universe that the player base could collectively fight against together. And finally, number 10, Battle Royale. Okay, I'm kidding, I gotcha. Number 10, no more Waking Titan. I covered this as the last season of the ARG was ending, but I genuinely believe that Waking Titan has served its initial purpose. Hello Games needed time to work to get No Man's Sky into a really good place with Atlas Rises and Next, and getting these updates out was no small effort for this tiny team. Now that Sean Murray and his team have moved to regular communication and moderately sized updates now, if you ask me, that's just a better way of interacting with the community and delivering information. Waking Titan was fun from time to time, and certainly a lot of effort went into crafting such an elaborate game, but it couldn't have been cheap to put all that together, and a tweet is free. I love this new process of communication, and if you voted to continue the ARG in that last survey that Hello Games put out, please allow me to express my disgust in your poor choice.
So tell me down in the comments section what you thought of these 10 features that could potentially go into No Man's Sky 2.0 as we look into the new year. And I would love to hear your discussion, thoughts, pros, cons, their trash list or good list, or would love to hear from you all on that. Of course, if you thought this video was entertaining, thoughtful, informational, whatever, do feel free to subscribe for future content from the LZ. And I will see y'all after Christmas, and I will see y'all after the new year. Thanks, everybody.